Hey everybody, Ronaldo Wafferman here, and this is the shootout you have all been waiting for. Behind me I have the ADJ Ikon Profile. If you've not seen the video on this slide, the review, click here. Now, we're gonna go ahead and compare it against 3 different fixtures. I don't normally like doing shootouts and mix different brands because there's a lot of variables that may take place, but there's nothing wrong with the other brands that I'm gonna show you. They're perfectly great. I have them in my arsenal. But I just want to show you a little bit of the comparison between how bright this little 32-watt LED can be compared to some of the much bigger models out there. So you're going to see a little bit of a comparison. Now, we are at the beautiful Lake Ashton over here in Winter Haven / Lake Wales, Florida, and they've been very kind to let me use their ballroom late night. Now, what I did is the entire ballroom lights are on one side, the other ones are off, but it's still plenty more light that you would have at an event. So you're going to see how bright the fixtures are compared next to each other in a much brighter environment that you may even have it at. The other important thing to note is that there's always camera tricks. You know, the camera looks different than it would to the human eye. So I have taken a lot of time to make sure that the video is as close to real life as possible. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, to keep everything fair, I'm going to match the beam angle of the ADJ Ikon Profile to the other lights. So some of them may have a different degree, so you're going to see where the size on the ADJ Ikon Profile may change. That's to match the light that we're competing it against. Very first one is its big brother, the ADJ Ikon IR. Much bigger light. I've reviewed the original Ikon. If you haven't seen that, make sure to click right there. We're going to go ahead and compare them side to side. So at 25 degrees, it pretty much swallows up this entire room, right? This ballroom is about 100 feet away. So at 25 degrees, you're going to swallow an entire wall. And on the left, we have the Ikon IR. On the right-hand side, we have the Ikon Profile. Now over here, way towards the edge, that's both of them side by side. And the Ikon IR is slightly brighter. Again, keep in mind that all the lights are on in that area. So that's something that's pretty important to note. You're also talking about 100+ foot throw. I just measured the room to see. So right now, I would say the winner in terms of brightness is the Ikon IR. Also very sharp edges on the Ikon IR. But that's because they're prime lenses. And there'll be a whole discussion on that. However, in terms of versatility, the Ikon Profile wins because for the slight difference in brightness, I like the fact that I'm able to shape that beam and make it much smaller. I can't do that with the Ikon IR because it's only 25, 32, and then we also have a 43-degree lens as opposed to 15 through 30 that the Ikon IR has. That's something really important when you're looking at long-distance gobos. So again, we're looking at the Ikon IR right here, and then I can actually take the profile and make it much smaller to fit that. So that's really important to know too. The other big difference is that the Ikon Profile does have the framing shutters, whereas the Ikon IR doesn't. But again, when we're just comparing specifically brightness to brightness, the Ikon IR is slightly brighter. You're not going to believe this next one. We're going to do the ADJ Ikon Profile against the Martin PR1. The Martin PR1 is powered by a 250-watt halogen bulb. Let's see how they stack up. Okay, so this is really interesting because there's quite a lot of different ways to perceive what you consider is brighter because we're not on the same color temperature. The PR1 is a much warmer white than the Ikon IR. But if I'm really looking at them side by side, they're both about the same. And again, that's perceivable brightness. But what I can see with my eyes, they're pretty much identical. Last but not least, we're going to compare the ADJ Ikon Profile against a Source 4 Junior. Now you're talking about a 575-watt bulb, pretty bright. And we're going to do this with and without the framing shutters, so you can kind of see a little bit of the overlap between both of them like in the other videos. And we'll see how it goes side by side. Oh, hands down, the Ikon Profile definitely looks brighter, a little bit sharper too. So you may be asking how exactly this one's brighter than the other. Well, first of all, it is a newer bulb in there, and we do clean the lenses and do regular maintenance. But it really all comes down to surface area. You know, you're talking about the much bigger gobo for the Source 4 Junior as opposed to a 28mm gobo for the Ikon Profile. I've talked about plenty of times the differences between surface area and how that, affects your overall projection and so forth. So if you haven't seen the video on that, make sure you watch the review on the Ikon Profile. I talk a little bit about that. But let's go ahead and now look at the framing shutters and just kind of have like a little square next to each other. Now I dimmed the camera down just a little bit so you can really see the accuracy between both of them. Again, a little bit crisper as far as the ADJ Ikon Profile. On camera, it does look like the Ikon Profile is just as bright as the Source 4 Junior, but again, maybe because one is a much warmer color than the other, I perceive that one to be brighter. If you were to walk in, that one would definitely stand out a lot more. But the Source 4 Junior doesn't have a zoom lens. These are fixed lenses. Now I would sit here and compare this against the Source 4, like the full-size Source 4 zoom, but with a 575 watt bulb on an A or B size Gobo, it is definitely not going to be as bright even compared to the Junior because again, much larger surface area. On a 750 watt, I'm guessing it's going to look right around the same as well. Again, because you have that A or B size Gobo. Much bigger surface area. So there you have it, the shootout of all shootouts. You just saw the ADJ Ikon Profile against the Ikon IR, a Martin PR1, and even a Source 4 Junior. Three completely different types of fixtures, all offering their own advantages, pros and cons, and all compared against this tiny little one. But I really want to show you one last thing. You see, the big part that I love about the Ikon Profile is the size, because it is a lot smaller than the Source 4 Junior. Also, if I touch this, I'm going to burn myself, and it's not going to feel good. Let's compare this against the PR1, which is heavy, right? So let's go over here. Okay, the PR1's a little bit more shallow, but look how wide this thing is. And again, this is not a light fixture by any means. And then against the Ikon IR. Ikon IR, much lighter fixture, so many great benefits to this light, and it's definitely a lot more compact, but it's a little bit, I don't want to say on the fat side, but it is much wider. So this is a little bit more discreet, and again, you do have your zoom, your 15 to 30 degree zoom, and you've got your actual framing shutters. Plus you've got DMX control, which you don't have on any of the other lights that I talked about. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because I didn't know what to expect, honestly. Did not do this ahead of time. I just set them up and I'm like, ooh, let me just watch this at the same time that I film. And I was really surprised with it. I hope you are too. I really hope this helps you guys out no matter which way you're looking whenever it comes to your Gobo projection. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, you're going to click that subscribe button. Make sure you click the little thumbs up, not thumbs down. Okay, I know who you are, but just knock it off. So thumbs up. And of course, please like, share with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe. Did I say that already? Great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, more great shootouts, comparisons, etc. Have a great night, and God bless.